This is fantastic news for the Bears. We are just one day away from Monday Night Football against the Washington Commanders. Welcome to Bears Digest, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Dylan Guinzy. Thank you for joining me once again. If you have not subscribed already, please be sure to do so. From the last report that we ran, 28 days, 94% of you watchers are not subscribed, so be sure to hit that bell to get notified on all things Bears, rumors, information, game recaps, everything you can think of. We will be here for that. So, just the other day, we got fantastic news on the injury front for the Bears in that injury report for the last couple of days of practice. Now, we are just one day away from the Washington Commanders game. This is a huge game for the Bears in terms of the outlook of their season, where they are at. It's a good measuring stick game as well. They can kind of shock the world in this game, right? Like everything's in front of us. And, I'm very excited to see how it goes and what the Bears do in that game and how they look coming off a bye week in Ben Johnson's first season. So let me know what you guys think down below. Score predictions. What do you think is going to happen? What the outcome is of this game? What are the keys to success? I always like hearing from you guys on that front, and always like interacting with you guys in the comments as well. So we'll get right into the video for today, and that is the injury report. So everything looked pretty bleak to start the week and the first couple of practices. Now, as we are, through the weekend, obviously not including Saturday, but Friday is usually the most important injury report. You'll get some final stuff on Saturdays, but everything's kind of the same there. But Grady Jarrett did not practice. He looks like the only one that will not play this game. We'll go further into detail there on him here shortly. Other than that, Kyler Gordon, Colson Loveland, Darnell Wright, Austin Booker, Jaquan Brisker, TJ Edwards, Homer for special teams, Jonah Jackson, Monungai, and Santos all look very, very good to go in this game. We're going to discuss every single one of them in detail and what this means for the Bears and how that can help them going forward into the back half of the season or back quarter of the season. This is massive, man. We haven't been a healthy team at all for the entire season. We haven't seen Kyler Gordon yet one bit. And Grady Jarrett, probably still going to stay out this game for tomorrow against the Commanders. But, he hasn't been that good. That's been one of Poles' really bad signings once again. It has not worked out so far. He's a good veteran leader, but he's not a good veteran player at this point. And he can't stay healthy either. So kind of disappointing there. I don't think that's a massive loss overall. I think in terms of what the Bears need to do to win this game, they have to stop the run. And Andrew Billings gives you a better shot to stop the run, right? He's not a great, pass rusher or anything, but he can stop the run. He can plug the holes. So I like Billings in there and Dravon Dexter, and we'll see how that goes. But Grady Jarrett's been a little bit disappointing, but seeing all of those full practices and then those limited from some of the young guys that, are leaning towards playing, I mean, that's huge. We've had a lot of disappointment on the injury front for the last few weeks and to start the season. And I saw a stat yesterday that Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker have not played together at the same time on the field since last year against the Carolina Panthers. And, that's just kind of fitting for how Poles' drafts have went and how his acquisitions have been. That was his first two draft picks, was Jaquan and Kyler. And just the fact that we haven't seen them in almost, I think it is exactly a year now that we've seen them on the field together, it's just kind of one of those things where, another flag off Poles' checklist there on things that he's done not well, I guess you could say there. So we'll get into each player individually. Of course, I want to discuss everything. We kind of mentioned Grady Jarrett. He's been a disappointment. He's got that knee that he's dealing with. Looks like he's going to be out with a lot of did not practice marks on his tally here this week, and most every other week it seems like here recently. So Grady Jarrett's probably going to be out. I don't expect him. Kyler Gordon, this one's huge. Dennis Allen said yesterday that going back to the spring and winter when he got here, this was going to be a chess piece for them. This was going to be a very important player in the defense. Now, the one thing that we have to check on and worry about with Kyler, I guess, is this guy has not played football in a while, live action. So I don't know if he's going to get all the snaps this week. He's going to play, and that's going to be beneficial. But I don't think you're going to see like full Kyler Gordon in his natural habitat this week. But just having him out there is going to be very, very important. And Dennis Allen obviously loves him. I think they're going to bring him in on some blitzes and exterior rushes and things like that in the future. So excited to see him back on the field for sure. Next man up, Colston Loveland. He's been dealing with a couple of different injuries, and that hip injury, to start this year. I think Colston is a guy that obviously is a very good player and going to be a very big piece to Ben Johnson's offense. And I think they were really starting to push him the ball in that Cowboys game before he got hurt. I think he had like 3 of the first 4 targets on the game, and then obviously he went down with the injury, and we haven't seen him since. I think after the bye here, and especially once he gets ramped up and fully healthy, I think he's going to overtake Kmet in that, number 1 tight end spot. And especially when they're in 11 personnel and they don't have both of the guys out there, I think Colston Loveland's going to start getting more of the snaps. That's just my, prediction, my feeling. I think, especially in this Washington game, they don't cover tight ends the greatest either. And I think we can really utilize these guys, to our benefit and to our advantage. So I think Colston's going to take over. I think it's massively important that he is back. It also helps out the run game too, just extra blocker and things like that. And, I think he's going to get a lot of targets on the back half of the season. I think you're also going to see Luther Burden as well. I think they're going to start integrating the rookies more and more. You can expect Kyle Monangai to get more carries too. I think that's just kind of how it goes when you're, using rookies. You kind of see after teams' bye weeks or, second half of the season, they really start to pick up. And then when they get to their second season, that's their breakout, right? So that's usually how it goes. I expect the same for Colston Loveland. Very excited to have him back. I want to see him snagging catches over linebackers and doing a bunch of cool stuff. So very excited to have Colston Loveland back. Darnell Wright was dealing with that arm, elbow, wrist, whatever it was, injury from that Raiders game, kind of missed the rest of it. And it's looking like he will be back, probably a 90-minute before game decision. If they do have to hold him out one more week, whatever, right? I think against Washington, their pass rush is amazing anyways. They're going to get home a couple of times. I think that's just kind of how it's going to go. Obviously, Darnell Wright is massive in terms of importance in the run game. Every time we run to his side, it's positive plays, it seems like, especially in a chart I saw the other day. So having him back is huge, but you don't want to rush him back, especially when he's your franchise right tackle. You don't want to rush him back into the fold if he's still kind of dealing with stuff or if he's not 100%. So we'll see there. But it looks good, and it's not like any sort of long-term injury. We talked about Austin Booker here before earlier this week, or actually it was last week, and this is going to be huge. Dennis Allen even talked about him, that he's seen, in the joint practices and, in their practices with fully padded live periods, Austin Booker was really showing a lot before he got injured. And, he kind of earned that trust from Dennis Allen that he can get to the passer. So having Austin Booker back, he's been full all week. That is huge. And I think we're going to get him back into the fold. And I hope and pray that he can add some pass rush to this team, because we have none of it right now. We only have 5 sacks on the year. It's absolutely abysmal. So Booker, need to have him back. That's going to be huge. Going to be a big turn for this defense. TJ Edwards, going to help the run-stopping game. Obviously, he's a better run stopper than Noah Sewell and Ruben Hippolyte. He's a veteran. He is a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker. Very excited to have TJ Edwards back. We need him to stay healthy. I think last time he came back a little bit early in the Lions game. This time, let's get him back, make sure he's healthy, and let's stop the run. Don't let these running backs get into the second and third level untouched. So expect TJ Edwards to have an impact there. Lastly, we were worried about Cairo Santos not being able to play earlier this week, and we thought Jake Moody was going to have to come in and run the fold there. But it looks like Cairo is going to be back, and that is awesome, because we just need him inside those 45 yards. He's money, and that's what we need. If it comes down to it, we want him to be able to win this game. I wouldn't have confidence in Jake Moody in doing so. So having all these guys back is huge. It's very important. I love seeing this. And, I hope the Bears can come out and play hard after a bye. We're not used to seeing that. So I hope Ben Johnson kind of fixes that, and they come out with their tail on fire tomorrow against the Washington Commanders. And this is a big, big, big game for the Bears. So again, let me know what you guys think down below. And as always, bear down.